Excited?
Yeah, I just don't know what to say.
I'm asking some questions. First video on YouTube. My lady first video on YouTube.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Let me see, you know. Alright, we ain't got no intro yet, but it's your boy Ty Boogie.
And it's your girl, Lay Boogie.
Lay Boogie. Alright, whatever. We'll keep it in there.
Lay on it.
I know what you gonna go for. Yeah, I don't know. We're in a long distance relationship. We've been together for about 2 years now. Well, going on 2 years. Going on 2 years in
April.
October.
Well, okay, so the thing is...
Y'all are hearing. But we said 2 different months. Everybody like, they need to get it together.
April.
But October. But nah, alright, so basically we want to talk to y'all about like our journey and like how we got to this point, because a lot of people look at us like long distance, like that's crazy. But I kind of wanted to go into, you know, just introducing our channel of how we met, why we decided to do long distance, and our opinion on long distance.
Yes.
So what do you
I'm
think about that? You
excited.
excited?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm excited.
So the first question is, and this is the funny one, how did we meet?
We gonna have 2 different stories.
How did we meet?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can tell. We met at the club. We met at the library. I was in
bar.
Yeah, at the bar. I was in California for some military duty, and it's so crazy looking back because I almost didn't go to that that school that I had to go to in California. It was literally a last minute decision. When I went, I was in a bad place. She says she was in a dark place as well, like around that time. And just looking back at it, just like how I stumbled upon her, I would have never took a girl seriously like that. Like,
No.
meeting you at the bar is not like a place I would try to meet my wife. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
you like usually I
relationships
wouldn't
don't-
take nobody serious meeting them at the bar. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Like a lot of people are like, you know, it's good for tonight and that's it. Like good time, what they say,
Yeah.
good time, something like that.
Yeah.
But
What you mean
anyways,
good for the night? What you mean by that?
well, you know what I mean. You know how people be? They be like,
Yeah.
I just want to have a good time. Like that's
Yeah.
it. But anyways, I was getting out of dark place, and
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't even planning on going out that night, but I did. I stumbled upon this person, and I was dancing.
And I walked over.
He did not walk over. He looked over. We made eye contact, but it felt like slow motion. Should I even say all that?
Nah, yeah, you can tell me.
Okay, so yeah, it felt like slow motion, and I was like, "Who is that?" But I was like, "No."
And
Just
then
do
tell
your
them how I
thing.
brought you to the back. You know what I mean?
Okay, I
where
went
it was
outside
quiet.
to get some
Babe,
air
you a
first.
lot. I took you through the crowd. What are
Okay,
you
yeah, but
talking about?
that's not what happened first. I'm telling my side. Yeah, no.
I need my
so
credit.
I went outside to the front where the securities are at, and people are trying to get into the door to get some air. And they're like, okay, you can't be back here. Da 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 da. You have to go to the back. So that's when he helped me through the crowd. Yes, and we got to the back. And then he asked about 10 times, why are you so pretty? He kept asking that. And then, you know, we introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we said our name.
Exchange information.
Yes. And then I was like, where are you from? He was like, he's from New York, but he's
Yeah, I live in Atlanta.
in Atlanta. I said, Atlanta some hoes. And I still believe that to this day. And,
I was like, where you from? She said Cali. Yeah. I said, well, Cali some hoes.
Yes.
I don't know nothing about Cali. Like,
Right.
at that time, I was just talking.
Right, and then we're just chopping it up, and then honestly, we end up hanging out the whole night. Like we were with our friends, which is so funny, and we went to Denny's.
Yeah.
If anyone knows Denny's,
It was
the
like
West
2 o'clock in the
Coast,
morning, like by the time we left the party and
Yes.
like went to Denny's. It was mad late.
I was tired. I got in my car.
And even at this point, babe, we wasn't even like caking. Like we wasn't
No.
like all over each other
We
or
were
like
not
we was really on some like
kissing.
friendly shit.
We were not doing any of that. We were just chilling. Like just chilling. We exchanged information, cool, and it was honestly a really funny night. It was just
Nah, that night was
chill.
hilarious.
It was
Yeah.
funny because my car too, y'all.
And you know what's funny? Like just to go into like the first time we linked up, like as quote unquote like a first date. It was really the first time we had a real conversation. It was at Wingstop.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at
That was our
Wingstop.
first conversation.
And I
Real.
think that conversation kind of set it off for us.
It really did.
Yeah.
Because we had already planned our date was to go surfing, but in between that time we were hanging out, like just on some.
Yeah, just on some chill shit. Yeah.
Like we didn't plan it too crazy. We
Yeah.
were like, it was just like, okay, what are you doing? You're off. I'm off work. He's off. Whatever he's doing in the military, and then we would just link up, and we were in downtown area. And I was like, let's just get some food. And we got some wings, and I was honestly like, both our phones were down. We weren't looking at our phones.
We was talking the whole time.
The whole entire time.
We wasn't drunk, no crazy shit. I know a
weren't
lot of people
drunk.
gotta like be drunk to be around each other. We
Yeah.
never had that problem, like even in the beginning. I think for me, and you could like give your 2 cents, but being that was our first real conversation, I think for me, you was hitting the head like on a lot of topics without me asking. I'm so used to like women kind of trying to just cater to whatever, like if I introduce a topic, for instance, oh, like I like basketball, or you know, I'm really deep into psychology, or I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
They'll like, oh yeah, I like that stuff too, and now they're really trying to act like they like what I like.
it.
But the whole time they're just trying to, you know, so listening to you speak, you were saying a lot of things, especially like about psychology, about healing. You mentioned God, and it was just a lot of things. I didn't have to introduce that topic. It was already something that was a part of you, and that's what like really made me attracted to you at that time.
Yes. And during this time too, I was in my relationship with God, because I
Speak a
went
little louder, baby.
during this time. I was
You was, like,
deep
your
in my
walk.
relationship with God. Like I was talking to God, I was spending that time, and I was actually hearing from God, like understanding or using discernment, and what is the word? Yeah, using discernment when it comes to his voice.
Yeah.
Therefore, I like was just so in tune with healing and all of that. So those type of conversations was just something that I'm just gonna speak about it regardless. If you like it, cool. If you don't, like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
But nah, for
And
me, it
so-
was really refreshing, especially coming from Atlanta. And I was just a visitor in California. I wasn't looking for nobody out here. I wasn't looking to see something like, you know, that I'm gonna possibly be with, see somebody that I'm gonna be with forever. And it was just refreshing to hear that from just a stranger, you know. The main thing that really hit for me was when we was talking about like just the mind and, you know, like really just the healing talk, because I was
Yeah.
going through it really bad from a breakup, you know what I mean? And then similar to you, you know what I mean, you was going through something, you know, from a breakup or whatever. And it was just like we was in the same place, like mentally, even though we're on 2 different sides of the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was like God like put us
really did.
here, and it was like, dang, like what's the odds that I meet a girl that I'm this attracted to, she speaks like this, and she's kind of in the same place as me. I think that also, without the dribbling, that also I think helped our connection too, because like we kind of healed each other in a sense.
Yeah.
I think for me, and I'm gonna let you talk. Prior to coming out to California, I went on dates before, and it just never really like fixed the void that I was having. Granted, within myself, I always knew like, okay, I gotta heal me, and then, you know, I can go into another relationship. I think when I went to California, I was like at the with's end of like really needing to heal, like, cause I went through like stages where I couldn't really even talk to people. But then when I came to California and I talked to you, it really brought me back to that person. I don't know if it's the way you was laughing at my jokes. I don't know what it was, but it brought me back to that person that I wanted to go back to, or I wanted to be, because like I know myself, I'm very vibrant, I like to laugh, I like to joke, but then I went into like a dark shell of myself, and nobody that I met, friend, new friend, whatever you want to call it, I mean, like was able to bring that side of me back out, except for you. Yeah, so love you too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so as far as me, I was also in my healing journey, and I felt like I was getting stronger and stronger. Therefore, I would go on dates, but I was not feeling it at all. Like I was like, ugh. and I would tell people straight up, I'm in a healing journey. Like, don't mess with me, don't do anything, don't expect anything. But for some reason, when I came across you, I liked our vibe because it just felt at peace. And two, it wasn't straight to, oh, we're trying to
get nasty. Trying
like
to be grown.
we're trying to do the most. And it just brought a lot of healing, I would say, as well. And I did I was like, God, if this person is not for me, take him away. And, I feel like I got confirmation from God.
You want to tell them what you told me?
Oh yeah, God told me that's my husband. And
She told me that.
I felt it in my spirit.
She told me that when we ain't really even know each other. She was like, God said that you're gonna be my husband or something like that. And I remember when you said that, like, it was a weird moment. It was a weird moment for a lot of different reasons. Like, part of me was like, wait a minute, like, she barely knows me. The other part of me was, it was a surprise to me that I didn't question it when you said it. Like, it wasn't like oh shit, now I gotta figure out how I cut off. Like, like, cause she's bugging. Like,
I felt crazy.
It was more like ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Like, you know what I mean? And even though, like, I didn't get that same message how she got it, like, because I was still, you know, trying to understand the situation, but I never questioned the message that you said you received. And that to me also made me look at myself like, okay, like, what is this about? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, all right, so the next question. All right, well, let's go into the next thing, because you do live in California, I do live in Atlanta. What made you consider doing long distance with me?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. I think when you left back, it was just like, dang. Like,
when I left to go to Atlanta?
Yes, like, it sucks.
What, the first time?
Yes. And I was like, I'll still be his friend. Like, because it was so genuine. And so, I think God helped me. Like I said, God told me.
God just steered us.
Yes, God was just like, just do it. I just think our connection, the confirmation from God, all of that, it just felt like it was flowing. Like, it wasn't forced. So I considered it, and I was willing to do long distance. And yes, in my head, I was like, how is this about to work?
Yeah.
But,
how the hell we gonna do this?
Right. How is this about to work?
I like her, but she don't live in my city. Like.
Yes. And I just think, I feel like it forced us to, like, get to know each other.
Definitely. Without
having to always
be physical.
Like,
because sometimes you could get lost in the physical.
You can get lost in the, oh my gosh, I feel all this and that, but you guys miss, you know, your mental.
Really learning each other.
Learning each other, the trust that's within the relationship. Honestly, being in a relationship with you, I have never felt like I could not trust you.
I'm glad.
Like, I'll
never give you a reason not to.
And that's crazy because we're long distance. Like, you're all the way over there, I'm all the way over here.
It don't get no crazier than this.
And it's crazy. I have not felt like, oh, he's doing this or he could be doing that. Anything like that.
Yeah, likewise.
And we never had that
those type of issues. Yeah. So for me, I was willing to do long distance. Honestly, it wasn't really a thing that crossed my mind until my birthday came, because I want to say, like you said, we met in like April, and then my birthday came and I flew her out for my birthday. I didn't know what I wanted to do for my birthday. I was kind of like up in the air with like what my plans was, and I knew I wanted to be, you know, around somebody that, you know, is gonna give me some love, like, you know, make a nigga feel good, you know. So I was like, I don't want to lie to myself. The only person I know that has really gave me that genuine vibe is her, you know. So I was like, I got the money for it, let me just fly out here. I flew out there, and honestly, I had a good time, and it was like I was able to have fun with her and my friends. I didn't have to look over my shoulder. I didn't have to see if she over here doing some extra stuff, because I done dealt with it all, especially in Atlanta. If you know, you know. So I didn't. Looking at that, I'm like, dang, like I could have fun with her. I know we connected on a lot of different levels as far as like mentally when I was out there in Cali. I know she's consistent. Like she was consistently hitting me up. You know, I was out with what you were saying. I was lagging.
He was lagging.
Yeah, I was lagging.
When he got right back to Atlanta.
Yeah, because I got in my head. I ain't really know. I was just like, man, that's long distance. I don't want to, you know, whatever. But so when she came out there, it just kind of just gave me that I don't want to let this go. And I think after my birthday, I really knew like, nah, I really want to mess with her. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to see where we can go. So the reason why she says April and I said October is because I waited till October to officially ask her out. It was October 1st, right?
It was.
Yeah. It was October 1st. I asked her out. Basically, I flew out here because we was doing like the visiting each other back and forth for a while. And I went out there, whatever. We was really just laying in the bed. I had a whole way I wanted to do it in my head. I wanted to take her back to the Wingstop and all that. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it here, like while I was feeling it. And I just asked her. She was like, "Are you officially asking me out?" Like,
I did not say it like that.
Yes, you did. You was like, "Are you asking me out?" Like, yes. I was like, "Yeah." You was like, "Yes." I was like, "Guys."
Extra.
That's what happened. Like, he was like, "Yes."
I did ask that question, but the way.
And then we laid back down. I was like, "Alright." We was laying down.
You be thinking, you know, you gonna have all this set up. We did lay back down.
Yeah.
Because one thing about us, we can
we
relax.
relax. Like, but I think that's really good. Like, that's another thing. Like, from the beginning, it's the same way it is now. And I'm real fond of like how you meet somebody, how you can lose somebody. Yeah. Like, and vice versa. Like, what was going on in the beginning also can end your relationship, or is what's gonna be in the relationship.
That's true.
And we had got a room on base like early on because it was one night we just didn't want to leave each other, and we just wanted to be together. You know what I mean? And it was just like laying down together, just holding each other was just so peaceful. It was just different. Like, know what I mean? Like, it was just different. It didn't feel like I was laying with a stranger. It didn't feel like it was just like, she's getting too close to me. It just felt really different. It felt like this is okay. Like, you're good. Like,
peace, complete peace. I felt peace as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good. Like,
and that's crazy. I think that
strangers
says a
strangers laying up with a stranger. And I kept telling you, I was like, I'll be the best stranger you ever met.
He always told me that I'm gonna be the best stranger. And it's just so crazy. I feel like, it's like I knew you.
Yeah. It was like our spirits. It was the weirdest thing because I feel like it was in a time where I was not looking for nobody. And every time I looked for somebody, it was the wrong somebody. Then when I met you, it was so many things that was connecting that I'm like, this is so random though. Like, but it was one of those things that I always believed the woman I was gonna be with, it would not have came like super easy, or there was like something that was gonna make me like you know, kind of play against me a little bit or whatever. But it made it, you know, it was just like, nah, but everything else is aligning to be, this is sent from God. That is the only way I could define it. Anything in between is just the devil just getting in between what God really wanted. So the next question is, was long distance tough for us in the beginning?
Ooh, I think we're like not used to it. So it was
like a little bit of an adjustment. It was
an adjustment, but it wasn't too complicated.
Yeah, it wasn't too complicated. Yeah, for you.
Not for me. I mean,
it was
the
tough
one
for
thing
me.
Maybe for me, I had to like adjust my schedule a little bit, like to make time to go see you. Yeah. I would say that part was.
Luckily, your job was flexible.
Yes, kinda. It kind of was.
I see, open your eye.
Something in it, huh?
Yeah. I did.
Yeah. Therefore, it was a little bit of adjustment, switch around, but it wasn't to the point where it's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, nah, I ain't never got that bad. Yeah.
No.
It was never that bad. Say my part. It definitely got tough for me at points because I'm somebody that like, and it was a little selfish on my part, but like part of my healing and stuff like that, I needed to heal from being lonely. So I have my own house in Atlanta, and I've been by myself for a long time. And I mean, like, the majority of my family lives in New York. My dad, you know, he has his family or whatever in Atlanta, but me and my dad, we kind of see each other from a distance. Same thing with my brothers and sisters. So for me, like, I have her, and I kind of felt like, dang, like, if you really love me, then come be with me. But at the same time, I can honestly say, and I ain't never say this to you, but at that time, I didn't really consider how big of a change that is for you. Like, I did just walk into your life. I think for me, it was like, you know, with long distance, it's so different versus like, all right, let's just say I meet you in Atlanta and I'm like, well, come live with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's very easy. Like, all you gotta do is just like slowly bring your stuff to my house, drive to my house, versus moving a whole state. I could definitely say, like, over time, I did have to understand, like, so yeah, it was times that it was tough, but I felt like through just, you know, being patient over time, letting time kind of tell, and you started coming out there a lot more too.
I did.
You started coming out there like once a month.
A lot more.
Yeah. So you want to tell them how you lost a job because of that?
I definitely did lost my job.
She lost her job for that. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't want to speak too much about it, but yeah.
Yeah, F that job. Just being patient, just knowing the person that you're doing it with makes it worth it. You know what I mean? So, although it was tough, I never felt like I'd rather be with somebody else than deal with this shit. Like, it was just moments that was just like, damn, like, I want to be with you right now. Like, damn, like, I hate being alone. I would rather you be here. So I think it was more so of just frustration of, I really want you around me. Like, it's kind of like a baby crying.
Yeah, you just want that person present.
Yeah. The next question is, what are the pros and cons of long distance? Pros and cons of long distance. What do you say the pros and cons of long distance?
Let me go first. Okay, let's start off with the pros.
Let's do like 2 pros, 2 cons, just so we're not like too long.
Overdoing it. Okay, pros, I would say you're able to see if you can trust that person. The next one, you have to be creative. But you think outside of just what you see in the physical. Like, you think from within. Cons, they're not present. You know, you probably want them, you want to cuddle with them, you want to, you know, you want them just to be around you. It does make a difference. It does.
It does.
It does make a difference. 2 cons. I would say just like, if you ain't got no phone, ain't got no money.
Yeah, if you ain't got no money,
yeah, sometimes you can't hear them. You're gonna be like, what? And I know I do that, so.
Yeah.
Be like, what? And then it's probably frustrating trying to like explain certain things.
Because like, when you're long distance, the phone literally determines the quality of the relationship. If it's bad phone quality, the relationship is just like, oh my god.
Right. It's
like, this is work. Like, every time you want to talk to your person, it's like, it's work. Like, her audio be bad, my audio be bad, I can't hear, she can't hear, or the phone is breaking up. That is the most annoying moments. Because it's like, I know I want to talk to her. Usually if I'm talking to like one of my bros or something, my phone is bugging out. Even though I'm talking to my mom's, all right, y'all, let me just talk to you later. But with us, it's like, you don't want to just, I'll talk to you later, push you to the side. Like, it's like, all right, let's figure this out, let's troubleshoot. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta do the most. What's third pro?
Third pro. Okay.
Third pro?
Third, and this can be a con for some people, but I think it's a pro. Communication has to be strong. And it forces you to work on your communication and see where you are at with your communication, because
being intentional on how you speak.
You have to be intentional on how you speak, especially when you're long distance. Like, that's all you got.
That's so all you got is talking.
Communication. And some people be like, I don't feel like doing all that, so they may view it as a con. But in relationships, you have to communicate. That's like the biggest thing. So I think long distance kind of prepares you for like how to communicate with your partner.
Definitely.
So
For me, I'll start with the con. So the con to me is the most obvious one, which is what you said. Is like when I want you, I can't have you. Like, and it's literally like a no. Like you just can't. And that's this trip. I think was my favorite trip because I wanted to see you, so I was able to see you. Like that's why it felt so good. I'll say another con would be I don't really know because we don't have. I think just not being able to see you is the thing that sucks the most.
Yeah.
Like, I would say another con is this: is people like to, like, is she coming out here? Is she moving out? People try to get in our business because they don't believe they could do long distance.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really think of many cons, and then the phone quality or whatever. Now the pros, I strongly believe, like my baby said, is your communication has to be to par. I think a lot of times, and we said this earlier in the video, we skip the communication part or just building communication within each other because we jump to the physical. Oh, you come over my house, now we getting physical. Or I go to your house, we getting physical. Or we go on a date, we're not really talking, we just trying to experience. But with our situations, like our relationship is literally us talking. Like us talking, us making time for each other, on FaceTime. Like it's a lot of time that has to be created. And then another pro would be you constantly have to reassure your person. I mean, and I say that's a pro because that's a choice. So if you choose to reassure your person, it'll really get exposed whether or not this person wants to reassure you when you're doing long distance, because there's so many things like gray areas, and it's like, will this person choose to, make me feel comfortable in this situation, or will they just choose the high road of trust me? So I think like a lot of those things were exposed versus when you're constantly with somebody every day that's in your city, you don't really get to learn these things. Like, and then by the time you learn them, they're kind of too late. Like you find out, oh, she went to the club with her friends and now she's coming home drunk, and you're asking her questions. It's like, hey, who you with? And she don't want to reassure you. But the whole time, you didn't know that this person wouldn't reassure you in those situations because she wasn't tested in the beginning. So I think now, with our situations, like we're constantly tested. Like, will we choose each other? Will we respect each other's boundaries? Will we communicate properly? Will we tell each other when the communication is lacking? Like, there's a lot of things that get exposed when it's long distance because you really have to work towards it to make it work. It's not something, we could just get spicy when we see each other. We can just kiss, we can watch a movie when we see each other, whatever, and then it's good. And then another pro is when we do see each other, and I mean, it feels like, like I really miss you. Give us time to miss each other instead of being on each other all the time. Yes. And I think it is built a good foundation for our relationship. Like, I mean, even for when you're getting ready to, move to Atlanta, which we'll talk about. Yes. But it's built a good foundation on what we started our relationship on. We didn't start our relationship on smothering each other. We didn't start our relationship on just being physical. Like, we start our relationship on communication and building that, I can't wait to see her. So I don't see that going away because who I know her to be, or the emotions that I have around her is to me, it should always be consistent of, I can't wait to be around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's the vibe we've created.
Yes.
And we also took a lot of trips too.
Yes.
We've taken a lot of trips.
Yeah. My favorite trip is Puerto Rico.
Yeah, she loves Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. You gotta go.
I think that was our first trip.
That was
that was the first.
Yeah, that was our first actual
That was our first trip. Where else did we go?
Yo, we ain't go nowhere. Yeah. Because I was thinking something else.
What was you thinking?
When you came to, that wasn't a trip though.
What
For you, it was a trip.
Came to Cali?
Yeah. Did we go? I feel like we went somewhere. No, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it was Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was the first trip.
It really was Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I liked Puerto Rico.
I love Puerto Rico. Everything else.
So
I think, yes, okay.
Puerto Rico, yeah, we'll make a whole another video for that. Would you recommend long distance for anybody else?
Some people yes, some people no. And you gotta be built for this. You gotta be built for it. You gotta be built, you gotta be committed to it, and
you gotta know your person.
Yeah, you gotta know, you gotta be intentional.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And if you are not, and I see people that are not intentional in their lives, whatever.
And they live in the same cities.
Yeah, there's people that are in relationships are not intentional. So For some people, yes. I feel like morals too play a factor.
Yeah, for most, no.
Yeah, for most, no.
And the reason why I would say, wait, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I feel like morals play a huge factor in it. So if I know some of your morals, I'd be like, nah, this is not for you.
Yeah, you gotta know your person's
Yeah.
moral. You gotta know they're morally like sound. Like,
Yeah.
in other words, you gotta really know your person. You gotta and not even know the person. Like, you just really gotta. It gotta be right, man. It gotta be right, and it gotta align. Like, there can't be questions. There's certain things that, like, if you have questions about trust, don't do it. If this person doesn't want to reassure you, don't do it. If you second guess, is he for the streets? Is she for the streets? Don't do it. Yeah, I mean, like,
Don't do it.
we didn't have we didn't have any red flags in the beginning. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only red flag we had in the beginning was that she lived over here and I lived over there. That was it. Now, I mean, it wasn't like, and I'll be very honest. I've dated before and it was red flags off the bat, and then I'd continue. You know what I mean? I could not have done that with those people. You know what I mean? And the same thing for y'all. If you're thinking about doing long distance and you have red flags that's like non-negotiables, especially trust. Like, trust is everything. Me and my lady, we have not spent one night without sleeping off the phone.
Yeah.
We haven't spent one night off the phone with each other. We sleep on the phone every single night. And I think for each other, it also gives us, like, and that's honestly crazy that we do that. But at this point, it would be weird if we didn't do it.
It's so weird.
But I think it also gives each other, like, reassurance of, like, hey, I'm still in my bed by myself. I'm waiting for you, almost as if you're here. You know what I mean? Like, I still want you to feel like I'm coming home to you. You know what I mean? Like, so. But again, certain people don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, certain people.
Yeah, certain people not trying to do that. So if somebody's not trying to, you know, really invest in a relationship, reassure you, respect your boundaries, no. Because long distance, when we hang up the phone, that is that. Like in all actuality, that is our relationship when we hang up.
Yeah.
And then you go out into your world. But when you're with the right person, they still consider you in their world. You know what I mean? So, like, I will make sure, like, I'll take a picture where I'm at. She'll take a picture where she's at. She'll FaceTime me. Another thing we don't do, we don't let each other miss each other's calls. And if we do miss each other's calls, it's not a, oh, my bad. What's up? Oh, what you mean where I'm at? Like, nah, it ain't none of that. It's my bad, babe. Like, I'm doing this. I'm with this person. Here's the evidence. Even if she don't ask me for all that, I still want to make sure any questions she may have or be too uncomfortable to ask me, it's already taken care of. I never want the trust factor to ever be an issue. We can have issues communicating because you speak with a Cali dialect and I speak with a New York, Atlanta dialect. Cool. We can fix those. Now, I mean, I say apple, you say apple. You know what I mean? Whatever. But trusting, nah, like, that can never be an issue. So again, would I recommend it for other people? If you know those things are aligned, then yes. But if not, no. All right, the very last question. Where are we at currently in our relationship? So that takes us to where we at now. Show them your ring. Show them your ring. So we're actually engaged now.
Yes.
We got engaged Valentine's Day. We'll do a whole video about that, and I'll be very transparent on my lead up to it and what made me, you know, and all that. I will do a video to that.
Yes.
All right, but yeah, so yeah, we're engaged, and you want to tell them anything else? And we got my little man on the way.
Got a little man.
Yeah, and for the what do they call it? The burden in the room, or whatever you want to call it. She is moving out to Atlanta in May, June.